How are you, man?
Hey Shijit, I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Long time.
doing great. It's nice and sunny out here in Ohio.
Yeah, it's beautiful here as well. We are having around 70-degree Fahrenheit today. Good Easter Sunday.
Good
So
Easter Sunday.
yeah,
Dude,
but I'm
I went
relaxed.
I went out for breakfast today and everything was closed.
Really?
The only restaurants that were open were McD's, and there was one Dunkin' Donuts open and one Burger King. Other than that, everything is freaking closed.
See, Shijit, there's a difference between staying in Ohio and staying in North Carolina, right? That's the reason I moved out from Ohio as soon as I got a chance. So that I mean, if you come here in Charlotte, you will see all the restaurants and all good eateries open where you can grab some good food. And plus, today I guess they'll be having some live music as well in the evening. So it's a good Sunday here in the
So
south.
does it snow over there?
No, it doesn't. I mean, last I remember, it snowed this winters, but usually it doesn't snow at all. Like once in a blue moon or something. And if it snows, dude, we are getting work from home for at least like 5 days. So
Yeah, because
I'm
the
always like
systems
praying for
in
that.
North Carolina are not compatible to handle any sort of snow.
Exactly.
But we had like two snowstorms in Ohio, and there was 6 to 8 inches of snow in one night,
Uh,
and I still had to go to work.
oh my God. No, dude, I will never go to work in that kind of a snow. I still remember, Shajid, that reminds me when I was in Ohio, right? I started working uh, at Cleveland Clinic, very beginning in my career. Then I used to have these meetings at 8 a.m. in the morning. And to reach that meeting at 8 a.m., I had to start from Kent at 6 a.m. because the roads were so bad and, the traffic and everything during snowstorms. So I had to drive at the speed of 40 miles an hour, and which used to be like a something I would never want to go back to that time. And that was first thing which came to my mind was that I want to move to a place where there's no snow because I was done like doing cleaning all the snow, removing snow from my car and everything. So I'm like, no, dude, I don't want those days back.
So the thing with snow is, I actually loved snow for the first 3 years of my stay in Ohio because it was so pleasant. It was so nice and white. I'd
Yeah.
never seen that in India,
Oh yeah.
and it was an amazing experience when it comes to snow because there are no leaves on the trees. First
Yeah.
of all, you don't get to see that.
Exactly.
uh, there are less vehicles on the road.
Yeah.
Everything is calm and gloomy,
Right.
but at the same time, it's bright during the day because the snow reflects white light.
Right.
So if you don't go to work to your office, but if you're sitting at home,
Mhm.
like that's the best scene. You can just make a cup of hot chocolate,
Oh,
hot
yeah.
coffee, sit on your couch and work. Look
Exactly.
outside the window. I mean, 10 on 10 for the home office for
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I say, right? Snow only looks good outside from the windows and on the Instagram reels. Other than that, like staying in snow is like one of the worst time ever because you are always scared about how others are driving. Even though you are driving properly, others can come and hit your car from the back. So I just don't like to risk my life in something like that.
Dude, this one time I had to come back from office during snow, and my office was in Mayfield Heights, and I was traveling back to Ohio,
uh,
and there was a snowstorm that was starting at 4:30 ish, and I was like, I'll leave in like 15-20 minutes. Not a big deal. But when I got on the road at 5:15, it was a very big deal because my visibility was less than like 10 feet. I couldn't see anything on the road, and there was at least 3 to 4 inches of snow. So whenever there's active snow, usually these snowplow trucks don't come and clean it. So they
yeah,
just keep it as is, and they start cleaning it after the storm is over. It
right.
took me 3.5 hours to come home. Isn't that
Wow,
crazy?
are you serious?
Usually it takes me 45 to 50 minutes, but that day it took me 3.5 hours at the speed of 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Oh
I,
my.
I couldn't exceed that.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. I still can believe you. I mean, it's the worst time ever to drive in snow. I mean, driving for 2 hours for a commute of like 35 minutes. Oh my God, nope.
But you know what the best part is? I recently started skiing from the past 4 seasons, and it's been a blast. It's
Yeah,
been an absolute blast. My colleague John, he is a snowboarder,
yeah,
and this one time, four seasons ago, I went out for skiing like once,
yeah.
and I enjoyed it so much. Although I almost broke my jaw, but
I
still,
know,
it
I
was
know.
fun. uh I couldn't eat I couldn't eat for the next 3 days, which was okay, but it was a fun experience. And I was like, I need to go there more often, but I couldn't find
Yeah,
anybody around me who could accompany me to into skiing. So finally, my colleague John, he's like, I think I can come with you. And then he hooked me up to this place in it's called Snow Trails in Mansfield, Ohio, pretty
okay.
close to Columbus.
Is it near Brandywine?
No, it's pretty close to Columbus.
Okay.
Yeah, so I bought a season pass for the past 2 years, and I go kind of once a week, and he comes with his fiance, and then three of us. I ski, but they snowboard,
Wow.
and it's been an amazing experience.
Good.
For the first 1 to 2 years, it took me time to learn, but
Uh-huh.
now I think out of 10, I can do seven-ish. So in skiing, usually the blacks are the toughest. So there are
Yeah,
slopes which are
yeah,
blacks, blues are the mid, and
yeah.
then there are beginners. So for the first 1 or 2 years, I did the beginners and the blues, but now I've started riding blacks.
That's awesome.
Um, but there are also double blacks, which
Did
are
you plan
more.
to go to Colorado anytime?
I do want to go there, man. So the mountains in Ohio or Pennsylvania are very small.
Yeah,
So if you start skiing down from the peaks, it takes less than a minute to come down.
right.
But if you go to Colorado or something,
Yeah,
these mountains are so huge. Is it the Rocky Mountains?
yeah. That's the Rocky Mountains. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to come down, dude. That would be
Wow.
a fun experience.
Oh yeah, amazing time, right? You go to Aspen, you go to all these places, and those are like one of the most beautiful places to ski. I've been once skiing in Brandywine when I was in Ohio, but that was it, dude. I got hurt so badly that I'm like, I'll keep my head, my hands and legs proper and try some other sports rather than going for skiing or ice skating because I remember when I had a bad fall in ice skating as well. I couldn't work out or couldn't do any kind of outdoor activity for almost 6 months. So I felt like, dude, this is not my kind of a sports. But I do enjoy skiing some other time. And those 1 minute down slope, those are for me. I don't want to go to all those black trails or something like that. Maybe in the future, but not right now.
So when I was in India, I used to do rollerblade skating.
Yeah,
Um, so I think that skating has given me a sense of balance.
right.
So skiing was pretty easy for me.
Uh-huh.
Although rollerblade skating, I did it on a flat surface, and skiing is on a slope.
Yeah,
But still, I had kind of a sense of balance. So it took me few times of skiing to get perfect into how to apply brakes, how to maneuver yourself, how to take
yeah.
turns. But after like 3 or 4 times, I think I did great.
Good, good. Yeah, that's how you learn, right?
That's
You
how you
need to
learn.
start somewhere, right? I mean, just
Uh, how was your what were you doing kayaking? Where were you kayaking?
Oh, I went on a recently. So after I came back from India, right, I was so busy with my work and with the new job. I got promoted as a global change management and new launch leader. So
Congratulations.
thanks, man. So I got so busy with the work, with learning new things, improving the processes that I couldn't get any time, anything of my me time, right? Like, so I just decided to just take a flight and go all the way to Vegas, and from Vegas, I didn't want to party. So I went to Zion and spent some time in Zion hiking and all. And then we went to Page, Arizona. So over there is this a lake called Lake Powell. It used to have a good water level till past 3 years, I guess. But now the water level has came right down. So what I feel is like we went there. I was like, let's go for kayaking instead of going for normal hiking in the antelopes, right? It's like guided tour and all. So I didn't want to do something like that. So I took a kayak, rented a kayak from a nearby rental shop and just went to all by myself to Antelope kayaking in Lake Powell. So that was pretty good. It was beautiful views. It took me around 2.5, 3 hours. It was around 6 miles of kayaking. But the only thing which I was worried about was returning back before the sunset because you don't know, right, how the water and everything is in the middle when you are especially when you're in the middle of the big rocks of Antelope Canyons, right? So
Is this
yeah,
is this your kayaking video?
yeah.
Man, it looks so beautiful. Look at that.
It was beautiful. I was whenever I feel like this weekend I was not doing anything and sitting by myself. I was just recalling these memories. Like, dude, I need to go out there more often instead of sitting back and just being lazy at home, and just go and hike one of those goddamn mountains. You know.
Hey, you know what? We're recording our podcast, so it's not that you're not doing anything productive.
I mean, that came all of a sudden, right? You invited me for something like this. I had no plans other than that. I was like sitting all by myself, like watching KGF or something, and maybe I was planning to cook some good food, but then I got another invite for iftar dinner from one of my friends, so I'll go over there. But other than that, dude, this weekend was like pretty relaxing, laid back. I didn't want to do anything. Neither I wanted to motivate myself to do anything. So I was just like sitting on the couch whole day, watching movies, watching whatever songs I want. But that was very laid back Easter weekend. That's not at all like me. Usually, whenever I get long weekends, right, I want to go somewhere. I want to travel. I want to go hiking or something. But this weekend was something I didn't want to do anything.
Sometimes, you should just keep your weekends free, do nothing, lay on the couch and
Yeah,
watch TV. That's the best kind of weekend
I
work that you
know.
could do.
The worst part over here is, Shajit, that your work takes so much of time, right? But then you have weekends. So if you sit on those 2 days at home, right, just relaxing or something, then you cannot explore any of the places nearby, or you cannot do anything. Plus, like sitting on the desk for 8 to 12 hours whole day at your work, like you need to keep your body moving, right? So I keep telling everybody I meet that, dude, if you want to, since you're young, you can do anything right now, right? Just do not sit at home and watch Netflix whole day. And you should rather go out, go hiking, go kayaking. Like, the weather is so good nowadays, especially here in south, that you can do a lot of activities, right? The other day I wanted to go for horse riding as well. But I mean, I just want to do something. I just don't want to waste my young age sitting at home and watching Netflix and doing some stupid household stuff. But I just want to leave this four walls and go out and breathe.
Dude, imagine if we were not working 8 to 5 or
Yeah,
9 to 6, whatever, 40 hours a week, but
yeah.
it takes up at least more than 8 hours every day.
Oh yeah.
So 45, 50 hours a week. How much time you have left to do whatever
I
you like?
know. I know, right? Yeah, I always keep thinking, like, just imagine, right? If you go to work, like working from home, dude, we used to get a lot of our me time, right? You save all this transit time and all doing some other stuff, and maybe reading or maybe studying something. But when you're going to work, right, every single day, like me, I go to work like 4 days a week. Uh, so my commute is an hour, so it's like 2 hours of my day is all gone commute, and then 8 to 9 hours I'm just sitting at work and working, right? I've been on consistent meetings every now and then, so my all day is gone. Then it's only what is left with me is my evenings, which I really like to enjoy my sunsets. And then staying in US, you need to cook your own food, you need to do your own cleaning, and you need to do your own laundry. So mostly it's like the day is gone, the week passes by so quickly that you just don't realize that how where did that all this time go.
Dude, it
So
just feels like it was yesterday we celebrated 31st December and welcomed
I know.
2022, and today it's like 17th
Exactly.
April.
Exactly, dude. 4 months of this year has already passed by. I'm already 30, right? So my mom and dad are like, dude, you need to get married. And I just turned 30. No, dude, you turned 30 last year. Now you're turning 31. So I was like, yeah, I mean, how the year passes by, it's so quick that I just don't realize that, man, the time is going.
Especially here in the US, at least in India, where you celebrate a lot of festivals. You celebrate Diwali every year, or
Yeah,
you celebrate Holi every year. So you know that that we did this last Diwali. But over here, we can't actually relate to we can't relate to Christmas. We can't relate to
exactly.
Thanksgiving. We can't relate to St. Patty. So we kind
Exactly.
of don't realize how fast time is running,
Yeah.
and life becomes monotonous without our culture, right?
Oh yeah, of course, and that's the reason if I, so last year, right? I promised myself that if I'm wherever I am in the world, I'm spending my Diwali at home. Like whatever the thing is going on, whatever the shit is going on in my life, I'm gonna celebrate my Diwali at home. And I used to try it earlier as well, but just because of COVID, things went different ways, right? So the best thing was when I went to India. I was there for a year, right? I could celebrate all kind of festivals, dude, and even like a small Gandhi Jayanti and all also used to be very fun because my mom was cooking good food and we were ordering good food. So like any small day, even like weekends, right? It looks like a festival because you can spend time with your family, you can spend time with your friends, you have all these concerts or something going on, so you can do a lot with them. But if you are staying in US, right, you miss a lot of those things, and that is somewhere where I feel like, dude, if I'm getting some time and if I can get some time off instead of going to different places in US, now I want to go back home because I've already traveled most of my US states. I've been like 47 now, 47, 48. So I only left is like Hawaii and Alaska, right? So now I'm like, dude, I don't want to travel anymore in US. I've seen all these places. Now I want to spend some more time at home with mom, dad, my friends, go hiking in Himalayas or something, take everybody together. So this is what my future plans looks like now. Like not gonna spend more time here in exploring US.
Yeah, not only so now that you're done with the US, you can go and explore new countries.
Yeah,
It's not that
exactly.
you have to be in India and travel India. I'm pretty
Correct.
sure within few years you'll be done traveling India too. Then the
Yeah,
only thing remaining is the new countries. I saw
exactly.
your Instagram bio. You have traveled how many? 18 countries?
Yeah, 18 countries. And my plan was, so 2 years back, right? So I got so motivated with all my travel plans that I'm like, dude, I need to cover at least 3 to 4 countries every year. And it was doable, which I calculated in a way that, dude, any of the trips doesn't cost more than $2,000, $3,000, right? I mean, maybe $1,000 is just for your tickets and all, and rest 2,000 if you're traveling like cheap. You do not want to travel and
Yeah,
staying in
budget travel.
yeah, but you're traveling. You stay in hostels, you stay in good Airbnbs, cheap and best. You don't want to go stay in 5-star hotels, right? So if you do something like that, it's much easier and it's much easier and planned way to travel throughout the world. Plus, most of the countries are cheap. Other than like if you go to Europe, some places are expensive, but other than Europe and London, all the places are cheap. Like if you convert US dollars or even INR, it's not that expensive to go anywhere to other countries. I felt like traveling in India was more expensive than traveling to other countries sometimes because of all this. All in India, right? We get all luxuries. We get into that kind of a mindset that, oh, dude, I mean, we are going to live in a good hotel. We are going with family. We want to stay, have some good food and all. When you're traveling other countries, you are on like budget traveling, right? Like you need to save all this money. We can save here, you can just enjoy here or something or the other. So I feel like, yeah, it's much easier to travel other countries than traveling in India itself.
So the way I do my budget travel is I decide what kind of a trip I'm going to. If I'm
Yeah,
going to a leisure trip, then I spend as much money as I can on the stay,
yeah,
because on those kinds of trips I don't plan to go outside. And these trips are usually when people from 3 or 4 states are come, not people but my friends from 3 or 4 states are coming to meet me, and
Right.
then we meet somewhere in the middle, and then we book the nicest Airbnb that we can.
Yeah.
uh, and if I have to see and explore other places, then I don't spend anything on the stay. As
Right.
long as I get a bed, that's okay. A good night's sleep is what I need.
Yeah.
But Airbnb has changed the travel, dude.
Oh
With
yeah.
Airbnb, you can stay and experience so many different kinds of, you get to meet so many different people, you get to live in different houses. Every house has a story,
Yeah.
every host has its own story, every
Right.
host is different.
Yeah.
It's so nice, dude, it's so
Did
nice.
you try VRB or something?
Oh,
There's some,
Verbo.
yeah.
No, I haven't. Have you tried Verbo?
Yeah, I tried once. I was going to Pennsylvania itself. So a beautiful property. Those are the properties. Those were the kind of properties I have not seen it on Airbnbs. Not that Airbnbs have any less properties, but yeah, I did not see that property listed in Airbnb. So when I'm now traveling, I'm checking both the websites because I feel like some of these hidden gem places you have to do some kind of research to find those places, and those are like amazing views, like good hospitality. The hosts are really nice, and you can enjoy, like some of these hosts are really like fun to hang out with. Because if you remember, we had some one discussion where people were what kind of people were there, like nature friendly people, something. What do you
Naturist.
Yeah,
Naturist.
yeah, exactly. So those people were like, I mean, I have never had that kind of experience, but learning from you, right? I was like, dude, those will be some kind of fun people to hang out, right?
But this one time I booked an Airbnb, I believe closer to Everglades in Florida,
Uh-huh.
and this lady was a collector.
Hmm.
Uh, she collected so many miniature articles and artifacts, and all her she had a huge house. It was like a 4 to 5 bedroom house, and
Uh-huh.
every house had a different shelf,
Uh-huh.
and she had collected artifacts from different countries. It
Wow.
would have taken me at least half a day to see all of these artifacts closely and to understand what she's collected, and she had tagged all of those artifacts very nicely, and she
Wow.
had divided them according to the continents from where she got them from.
Lovely. That's
Lovely,
beautiful.
dude.
So you
And
learn a lot of things, right? Like how to collect all these things and how to keep them safe in your apartment. Because usually what happens is, right, you get it something, but then you forget about it. It's all the pictures which you remember, right? But somewhere when I meet some people like that, they collect these posters and magnets and all those things and put it on their fridge. In the beginning, it never used to look like fancy, but when I see like my half of the fridge is all filled with all these places I've been, and I go and see it, and I'm like, dude, over here it was a good memory. I had this something I remember when we bought this thing, that we were on the way to this place and all. So the entire picture and entire that scene comes to your mind when you see all these magnets and these artifacts. So it's good to always keep them near you, or in fact include them in your decoration at your home, so that whenever you see them, maybe like a glance or something, you can just recall the moment, right? Wow, it's such a beautiful memory, right?
yeah, this one friend of mine who lives in New York, his name is Pratik.
Mhm.
He is also a great traveler. What he collects is those license plates. So every whatever gas station or souvenir place you get those outdated license plates, and he collect those, and he's put them on the wall,
Wow.
and his wall is almost filled with probably 36 to 40 states.
Wonderful. See, that's something I want to do. Like, if I ever buy like a house or something, I want to have one room to myself just for my travel stuff and travel pictures and travel books, because I really like something like, I don't not like to keep my wall empty, but I would like something like that, like to have everything in the same in one wall, which I can have it like a memory wall or something. Have this in my room, in my house, and whenever I feel like dull, or maybe I had a bad day, I can just go into that room and go through all my previous trips and good memories, and recall everything with where I was and how time went by. Because you won't realize, right? If you're already 30 or something, and how the way the time passes by, you will be 50 or 60, you won't even realize. So it will be good to just keep all these memories and see how you also grew up, because you also age, right? Like I was seeing one of my pictures from 2 years back, dude. I used to look so young that now I feel like, dude, I look shit now. So I want to have all kind of pictures like how I age in different trips. So like I can recall, like, dude, see, the way I used to look like that, I did not have that kind of energy level. But the way I look now, I have more energy level than the way I used to look at that point. So it's
Yeah,
always good.
I just realized that with age, I think my energy levels are growing. Energy level is growing for some reason.
Exactly, right.
I like I talk to people around me. I tell them, let's go here, let's go there. They're like, no, I'm tired. I've turned
I
30.
know.
I'm like, what makes you try? I travel to my work every day, 2 hours, come home, and still I have a lot of energy, and then I work out and all. But some people are just sitting at home and are tired.
I
Like
swear.
I'm working in the on the opposite clock, dude.
Exactly. That's what I feel like nowadays. Like if I see a person like 24, 25, in fact, my roommate, right? I mean, he's so like he wants to just sit on the couch, relax, chill and all. I'm like, dude, let's do this. Let's go for boxing. Let's do kickboxing or something. He's like, no, dude, I just pass. You can just you carry on. I'm like, I feel like as I'm growing old, I'm thinking like, dude, I have less time to explore more things. So I'm like more motivated and more excited to go anywhere, do any kind of stuff I want to do. And plus, like when you're young, right? So you do not have that kind of money as well, because you are always dependent on your dad, or even like a small money you earn. At this time, I feel like I have enough money that I can use that money to explore and do something, instead of like sitting at home and just watch Netflix, right? So yeah, I feel like we are getting on an opposite clock, and the excitement level and the energy level is growing every day.
So the irony of life is when you are young, you have a lot of time but no money.
No
And when
money.
you start earning, you have enough money to travel, but you don't have time.
Exactly. And that's what the time. So whenever a person says, right, dude, I don't have any time, I tell them, dude, time needs to be made. Like, nobody has time in this world, but you need to take some time out from your busy 24-hour schedule to just spend with yourself. And people say that, dude, how do you travel so much? Does your a job give you enough a vacation? I mean, no, dude, no job gives any vacation, and nowhere a full-time job will be a 40-hour job. It will always be 60 to 70 hours job, right? So what how you need to use is, and I'll tell you very frank, and I don't know if my manager will see this or not, but this is how I manage my time, right? So I always fly on Thursday. Friday I'll take work from home, because mostly in US, right? Fridays people leave after half day, right?
Right,
So that's how I plan. Thursday you travel. Friday you have, like, Friday is also your time, because if you're traveling west, especially in US, if you're traveling west, you're already 3 hours behind us, behind EST, right? So you flew on Thursday. Maybe a Wednesday also is a good day to fly. Just take Thursday work from home, and Thursday and Friday. So that's how you manage. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dude, 5 days to explore one place is more than enough. Literally
right,
more than enough. And
right,
whenever you fly back, take a night flight from West Coast, so that by morning 7 a.m. you are here at the East Coast, right? Pick your car from the airport, go drive straight to your work. And
right.
that's how I used to manage all my time, because and that's the only way I could travel all these places, right, Shri? Because I have like nobody, like with it can be the story for everybody, right? Nobody has time, right? No, everybody has work, everybody has other stuff to do, and things, but you need to use your time, right? Your age will keep going, you will keep growing old, and at the end of your maybe 50s or something, 60s, you will realize that, dude, what all did I do? I didn't even do anything. I just kept working from morning to evening and did not utilize any of my time, right?
Yeah,
So I feel like I shouldn't be that kind of a person. I should have tons of memories which I should rejoice and see, like, dude, I lived it, right? So
you lived
it
it.
should be
Yep.
something like that.
So this one day I was just calculating how many trips I did in 2021. I did 11 trips and it was
Wow.
fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. And each trip I would say was minimum 3 to 4 days. The one big India trip was almost a month.
Yeah.
But now more than traveling, I've decided that I'm going to have one great experience.
Yeah.
Uh, I need to do one great experience every year, which I will never be able to do in my life.
Yeah.
So the one great experience I did last year was I attended the Formula One Grand Prix in Austin,
Wonderful. Uh-huh.
and I'm a big Formula One fan.
Dude,
Lewis
I'm trying to
Hamilton.
go this year, I'm trying for the tickets and those are like $700. I'm like, dude, 700 for a Formula One? I don't know. Maybe I'll go to Buddha Circuit in India, Noida, and see it from there. It will be much cheaper.
But see, they don't do so Buddha circuit is not included on the main races
Yeah, I
in
know.
Formula One. So I thought about the opportunity cost. Right now I am in the US. So
Yeah,
if I go back to India and if I have to travel to some country for Formula One, then I have to travel, then I have to include the stay, the flights, and then to travel that country, including the Formula One ticket. So
right.
instead of that, I'm like, since I'm already in the US, no
Yeah,
matter what, I should just spend money and
exactly.
go to this Austin Grand Prix. Although
Uh-huh.
the ticket was expensive, the one that I bought was some $600 or something. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't cheap, and it was the lawn ticket. So there are 18 lawns
Wow.
in the whole arena. So
Uh-huh.
once you get an entry ticket, you can go and sit on any of the turns that you want. But the
Lovely.
experience is amazing. There were 200,000 people
Wow.
last year. 200,000 people. I think it
That's
was one of the
awesome.
biggest events in the US.
Uh-huh.
um but it's great, dude. And so the Paddock Club is the club that is right behind where the pit lanes are there, where they
Uh-huh.
change tires and all.
Right, right.
So the Paddock Club tickets are very expensive, so these people have special taxi service to get in and out of the arena. They have
Uh-huh.
helicopters, dude. So these choppers,
Wow.
they might be having some place somewhere in Austin where they load people,
Uh-huh.
and these helicopters land within the circuit. These people get out and go into the Paddock Club.
Lovely, dude. That's the kind of experience I want to gain now.
Probably those tickets are 50, 60 grand, maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, you
those are usually for sponsors who sponsor those Formula One Grand Prix. So
wow.
it's a very expensive sport. These
Yeah.
they have a team of 200 people per team, and there are just
Oh,
10 teams with two drivers with each team, and they travel different continents every other week for their races.
wow.
That would be a good job for you, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm telling you, dude. I go. So my company sponsors this F1, right? We have our car, Jaguar car, is our drive lines, right?
Okay.
So I'm so there's always a lottery going on. So whosoever wins the lottery, they get a free ticket from my company, right? So I always put the free ticket. Like I try to get into lottery, but dude, my luck with lottery has been the worst. I stopped gambling like 4 years back because I lost so much of money in loss in like gambling and all. I'm like, dude, this is not something I can make money in. I have to try something else. This is not my cup of tea.
So, how was your experience with the Zion National Park?
Zion was beautiful, dude. Like I went to Angels Landing, and it's one of the most beautiful hikes I've done in my life. Of course, I've done more beautiful, but these were in US. These were one of the beautiful. I wanted to go for Narrows as well, but Narrows, the water was too cold at the moment. So you have to in that hike, right? You have to go in the middle of water, and it was like too cold for for Narrows at the moment. But I'm replanning again. I want to go for Havasupai Falls. Hopefully next month I'll be able to, and that is also like you need to do some kind of lottery or something. I don't know, but yeah, you have to plan ahead because it's in a native Indian reservation. They take care of that, and they only let limited number of people to go in, and that's similar. Like it goes in the middle of the water, you get all wet and all, and it's like I guess it's around 9 miles hike. Havasupai, I don't remember exactly, but it's very beautiful. You go all the way down to the falls. It's beautiful falls, and it's one of the top in my bucket list since I came to US. So I want to try that this year and maybe go.
This
Yeah, this is the one, dude. This is more very beautiful. I mean, I have been trying to go there for quite a long time, but couldn't. But this year I want to get this done.
the one thing I saw when I was in Glacier National Park is the blue color of the water.
Yeah.
The water in some of the national parks is so blue.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what shade of blue this is, but it looks as though it's the one that we draw when we are
Yeah.
in school. That exact
Exactly.
same blue.
Yeah, I know. It's, I mean, and then when you are there, right? Some of the places I go, right, I have tears in my eyes, dude, because I, as a like coming from a middle class family, and I never thought like I'll be able to go all these places. It just kept going, and how I started with this, and she, it's very interesting. I'll tell you, right? I had no plans of coming to US in the first place, very in the very beginning, and I have a very good friend. His name is Arjun, and he was like, dude, I'm studying for GMAT and all. I'm like, oh, you're studying for GMAT. What is it about? And he's like, oh, it's we'll go out and we'll see. I want to see how the life happens over there. I'm like, okay, good, good, good. You continue. And then at that point, right, I was like, maybe I can also try. And then there's another friend of mine, Parmeet. He's like, dude, I'm going for this. Canada or some country. He told like, dude, I want to go there and study. I'm like, dude, you are also trying, and my other friend was also trying. So these all, I have three very close friends. So I'm like, wow. And one of my friend was already here. So I'm like, okay, I'll also then do it. And then what happened was, so Arjun got on a different route. He's like, he left GMAT and he got a job with Nokia and he started working there, and he dropped the plan. And I was the person. I was like, okay, I already gave my exam. I got the admission at Kent State, and why not? Let's go for it. Because there's nothing back like which was stopping me. And of course, my parents were there, but my dad is a big time like, yeah, go for it, study and all. And he's like, yeah, I'll support you in your education fees and everything. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. Maybe like I'll come back after 2 3 years. But since I came here, right, the plan was always like to go back to India and enjoy after certain years of time. But the way the life took its turn, it has been like forever. I just want to keep exploring and exploring and exploring. So whenever I meet Arjun, right, I meet his wife as well. I tell them, dude, I had no plans of going to US, but it was just like you guys backed up, and I just kept going. And I was able to explore all these places. So when I go to like Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, some of these places I always saw in the TV or in my wallpaper when I used to use my laptop and computer. So those places get tears in my eyes because those are like some of the most beautiful and magnificent views I've ever seen. Like so beautiful places that I was like, dude, life can never be better than that moment, right? So it's some of the places I really want to go more and more, because the hunger keeps growing, right? Ye pyas hai badi, something like that. So that is somewhere, yeah, I'm always thankful to such good friends, right? Like who motivated me. Maybe that's the reason I always tell, like mom dad used to say, right, in childhood, that make good friends and all. So those, so I don't know, those good friends will come along or something, but yeah, we have good friends, and those people made me uh, reach this place and explore and all, and kept me going. So yeah.
So, what was your undergrad in? Like, what did you study?
I did my computer science engineering from Bangalore, from GSS Bangalore. Yeah, and it was interesting time, bro. A lot of, I'd never studied. To be frank, it was always like engineering, free time. Like most of the, so how the engineering works in India is, right, you study 10 days before your exams. That's how it is, like everywhere, right? I'm sure it would be same in your
It
college.
was same for Pune University. They called it a PL, preparatory leave.
Yeah,
So right before our final exams, we used to have like a 1 month vacation where you
yeah,
could sit and study. So back in those days, I was a camping instructor with this company called Pugmarks. So
yeah.
I used to manage camps for 25 to 30 days out of my preparatory leave, and study only 5 days before the exam, and somehow cleared it.
Wow. That's how it used to be. Dude, 33 used to be like my 100, right? Just score 33. Somehow just score 33 and I'll be done. And I was like, some good memories, like to score 33 is like, we'll do anything. We'll study like 2 units and 3 units. And like 2 3 units, I can at least attempt 60 marks paper, and 60, I'll get 33. Yeah, that much. Even if some of my questions are wrong, I'll still be able to manage 33. So that's how the mindset was, right? Like I never had a plan of scoring six, like distinction or 80 or 90. My mom always keep telling me like, dude, you guys only plan like your aim is like to just pass. You do not aim to grow and do like reach the top level. And how it changes, like when it comes, when you're in US, everything is 100. You cannot score anything below 100. So there was a complete mindset change. Like before, you are only hoping for like 33, get like C or pass it, and over here you cannot even manage to get anything less than A. So it's like completely different how the studies and education works in different countries.
So did you just apply to Kent State University, or did you also apply to few others?
I did apply to a few others. My GMAT was not that great, Shajid. I just at that point, right? I just wanted to come to US. That to be frank, I was just trying for. So I had two things in my mind when I was coming here, right? One was cheap education. So maybe if even if I don't get a job, I can still go back and recover that much of money from working in India or whatsoever. And the second was where I can do most networking. So Kent was the place which is very close to Pittsburgh, Chicago, DC, New York, because everything is 6 hours away. So
Right.
that was one reason I chose Kent. I did get admissions from California and other places, but dude, the cost of studies over there was way too high. So I never wanted to risk that much of money. My dad, even if I would have asked that much of money from my dad would be like, "Beta, you start working here instead of going there and spending so much of money, because I don't trust you that you will be able to make that much of money later." So yeah, that's the reason I came to Kent and I did not go to any other place.
So what was your imagination of studying in the US, and do you think US met with your imagination?
Yeah, of course. Like, so when you come here, right, you come with a lot of dreams. And for me, my only dream was to get a good job and try, because all my, a lot of my cousins are here. So I wanted to just have this, I have a very small dream, like come here and explore place, meet new people, explore different culture, and just study, get a job somehow, right? That was the job was on top, because when I was coming, right, dad is like, just utilize that time, because I cannot, because our parents can make you study, but at the end it's you who have to study, right? They can pay for your fees and all. So in the beginning I was like, I just need to get a job. And then slowly I started working with Adventure Center at Kent State.
Right.
And from there, the everything changed, right? I met so many people in Adventure Center, made a lot of friends who have been traveling like wild craziness, because I had a friend who have hiked Appalachian Trail. I had a friend who biked all across US. I had a friend who was great in like outdoor climbing. I had a friend who took a one-way ticket to New Zealand and traveled all across, visiting Nepal, India, everywhere. So learning, having such kind of friends, again, what I was talking about earlier, right? Those
Good
friends,
company.
yeah, the company changed everything. Those friends made me do so much of things that maybe I would have not done it if it was by myself. So these people gave me a motivation or something, that seeing them, I was like, dude, I want to live this kind of life. I don't want to live this kind of life like what I'm living right now. And then like I came out of out of my comfort zone, because in India, I mean, of course, you know, right, like parents keep you pampered and all, especially I'm the only kid. So my mom, and if I tell my mom, dad, mom, I want to like go kayaking in the open waters, and I don't know that good of a swimming, then they would probably not let me do that. And maybe outdoor climbing was no, straight no. But then I got my belay certification at Kent State, and help people climb rock wall and all. So I made so many good friends, and those friends helped me get bringing a purpose to my life, right? And they told how important it is to travel, to explore different cultures and all. And I felt welcoming too, because many places, if you're having friends from a different country or cultures, sometimes they don't welcome you enough, because they know, right, you have a different culture and all. There's nothing wrong in it, but they are not able to mingle up that well with you. But these people were so welcoming. I was like enjoying my time. I got free trips. I took a trip to Puerto Rico also at very minimum cost because I was leading a group of like 18 people, out of which 15 were girls. So I had like some good memory, good memories. I still remember, Srijit, I was in Puerto Rico and all these girls were like going surfing and all, and my surfboard flipped, and it was my first experience surfing, and my surfboard flipped, and it flipped in a way that it got hit on my head, and then I started going down and started drinking water, like the seawater, and they had to rescue me out. And all these girls whom I was leading, they were all enjoying in the middle of the ocean, like, having fun. They're like, "Come, Manu, it's okay." And here I am standing on the shore. Like, dude, I just got saved from dying. So, but those people were like, so like, come, we'll take care of it. I still remember, Shrijit, I went second time inside the water with like proper like understanding and all how to do surfing and all. I went all into the water and came back up alive. So I mean, it's all up to like how people can motivate, and it. I mean, I really feel like company matters a lot, dude. Like anywhere you are, those your friends, your families, the support wherever you in any situation.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did with skiing because the first time I hurt my jaw so bad, I was on a liquid diet for the next 4 days. But eventually, I realized that I should go a few more times. I shouldn't judge skiing by just one bad experience because it might be a good experience, but the air that gushes into your face when you come down the slopes, that gives me the most pleasure.
Oh
Like
yeah, of
it's
course.
fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's
uh it is similar to riding a bike in India. You can't ride a bike in the US, so that's pretty close experience while you
correct.
come down on the slopes,
Yeah,
when cold air gushes into your face.
of
It's
course.
nice.
I mean, you just feel like how beautiful it is, like, and you forget everything at that point, right? Some of the things like activities we do in outdoor sports, you just forget your any kind of pain or any kind of struggles you are going through, because at that point of time, it's just the nature and yourself, and you're just enjoying it. And the moment can never, I mean, those memories can never be like forgotten.
I remember the first time I went out for skydiving. I wanted to do it for like 3 years, but didn't have enough money to go and skydive. And finally, I did it. I clicked some pictures. Like they only clicked my pictures, and I and a video, and I sent it to my mom and dad. And they were so mad at me. They were like,
Oh
"There
yeah.
was no need for you to go and jump out of the plane." Like this is what excites me. That's why I did it. So if you're kind of doing any adventure activities, don't show it to your parents, especially in
Oh,
India.
Jeet, I'll tell you this very good. So earlier when I did something like that, right, I told my parents, my mom and dad, like, are you stupid? Why would you do something like that? And later, like when I showed them the video and everything, my dad and mom were showing to their friends, see, it's my son who did that. So it was like earlier you were scolding me to do it, and now you're like boasting about it that, oh, my son did something like this and he's that stupid.
But I still remember my first car in the US. I bought it. It was a 2005 Nissan Altima,
Uh-huh.
very cheap, like $4,500 or something. And when I bought it and I sent pictures to my parent, my dad showed it to our entire village that,
Exactly.
this is what my son is doing in the US,
Yeah,
and he was so proud of the
I
fact.
know, right?
Yeah,
Wow,
that
dude.
these are the small points of happiness that we forget when we
Exactly.
actually start competing in life.
Exactly.
And I think we should keep everything aside and stop comparing ourselves with other people,
Right.
and start seeing where you were like 5 years from now and where you are right now. If you're doing something that you like, you've already succeeded in life.
Exactly. I'm like, that's what I've telling actually, like you were telling, right? Your dad was so proud. Like I still remember. So I was saving all this my internship money and all like during my college to even after like all this traveling to book my mom dad tickets for my graduation, right? And I still remember I sent my tickets to my mom and dad, and my mom could call me and she's like, you know what? My dad put the ticket in the temple, in my home temple, because he was so happy that I my son sent me tickets from his money and all. So I mean, sometimes we just don't realize how much. Maybe when we be parents, then we will understand. But how all these things matter to them, right? Uh, I mean, now I'm even after that, while I'm telling it to you, I'm still feeling that, dude, something like that is the best part of life, right? Like surprising them. I surprised one of the ones at home for Diwali, and my mom was all crying and all. She's like, "What are you doing here?" and all. So something like that is more important than maybe traveling the world. Sometimes that's what I feel like. Yeah, I mean, traveling is good, everything is good, but keeping your family together, taking care of them is very important.
So, what was the most jaw-dropping experience when it comes to Kent State University that you saw for the first time and you had never imagined that this is even possible? Do
Jaw
you know?
dropping experience.
So, I'll tell mine. So, this first time I went into the Kent State Library.
Mhm.
It's a how many 12 floors?
Yeah.
Probably the biggest building in Kent. Uh, I go to the ground floor and there's Starbucks.
Yeah.
This is crazy, dude. I had
Yeah.
never imagined that a library in a university would have Starbucks. And
Yeah.
then I started going on to the next floors. They have bean bags. Then they have different sections where you could study. There was one section where there was a treadmill where you could walk and study,
Yeah.
an elliptical where you could keep your book and still do some exercise and study.
Right.
And there was vending machines, microwave. There was small conference rooms, like if you want to be quiet you could just sit in those rooms. This was something that I never imagined that this
Yeah.
is even possible.
Right.
Even the
Back by Kent
systems,
State.
yeah,
Rec
at Kent State,
Center.
and even the systems they gave was like huge IMAX.
Yeah.
uh, that was a dropping experience for me. Did you come across any of such experience?
Everything, Shajit, because like coming from India, right? It's a completely different infrastructure here. Like you have like buses and going inside your campus, like taking people from one place to another. Then your classes are so fancy here. People are coming in their shorts to attend the classes. And then if you go out, like some good cafeteria where people are doing all kind of skateboarding and everything else. Then Kent State Rec Center was one of the best I've ever seen in my life, because I mean, now also, like if I travel here and there, like I've not seen a rec center like Kent State, because you have like hot pool. The hot pool I saw for the first time, you won't believe. Like, I saw the first time hot pool. I was, wow, we have a hot pool here. So then the in big gym area, the rock wall adventure center was the best, because I have never experienced something like that back in India. The way people used to interact was amazing. Like they used to make you feel welcoming. At the very same time, I remember that where over here they have this culture, right? Hey, how you doing and all. So when we came here for the first time, right, a person will come and say, hey, how you doing? So for me, as a person coming from India, they're like, oh, he wants to know how am I doing or something. So I stand and they're like, yeah, I'm doing well. By the time the person will all go back moving,
They
I'm
don't
like,
want to listen to you, how you're doing. It's just a way of saying how you're doing.
exactly. So then I was like, dude, at least listen, like, let me tell you how my heart feels right now. So all these experiences, it was a cultural shock. At the same time, it was like a lot of things I learned, how important it, like especially my communication skills changed so much back in India. I still remember my friends used to make fun of my spellings and all those things in engineering. But now, like a lot of change. We have got mature and got a lot of experiences studying in Kent and managing ourselves by us, managing life by ourselves. Because I in over here you are driving, you're doing everything by yourself, right? You're cooking also. You know how to cook. You learn how to cook. You know you are cleaning. You are uh, uh, going to your work by yourself. At very same, when I started my first job at Kent, right, I didn't even have a car, so I used to walk like 2 kilometers from my place to Kent State Rec Center in the morning at 4 a.m. to start the rec center. Right, we have to open the rec center at that point. So I was doing this first shift, and I'm like, wow, this is not the kind of life I ever imagined. Because like in India, if somebody will tell me to do something like that, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna do that. If I'm here, like I'm doing everything which I never imagined I'll ever do in my life.
But I still remember this one time I got a job in Prentice Cafe,
Mhm.
and they hired me as a dishwasher. And
Yeah.
I used to do dishes at Prentice Cafe, and my back used to pain so much, dude, because these were like huge pots and pans, and this
Uh-huh.
lady manager always gave me the last shift, where
Uh-huh.
they put all the dishes from the line into the
Uh-huh.
sink, and I was
Uh-huh.
the only person doing dishes. It used to break my back, and I'm like, oh man, if I was in India, I would have hired like three people to do this. But US is what makes you humble.
Oh yeah,
It teaches you that no job is big and no job is small.
exactly.
Every job is equal, every
Exactly.
person is respected. And that is what I like, because even though I was doing dishwashing, nobody judged me over here
Yeah.
that, hey, you are a dishwasher, so
Yeah.
what?
Right. I mean, sometimes Shijit, like we learn so much here, right? Doing all these jobs. Like I also used to wash kayaks after people. We used to come back from kayaking and all, because people who signed up for kayaking, they will leave. It's the end. You're the working, right? You need to clean all those kayaks and keep properly. But all these things help in a way that started respecting people back home as well. So now when I go back to India, right? Like I understand how much pain they are going through when when we ask them to do this, or we talk rudely to anybody who is in that kind of blue collar jobs, right? So when I go back home, I tell like people not to talk like that or something, and I also talk very respectfully to anybody from a blue collar job person. But yeah, it has changed a lot in the way we look into things, right? So
When you were talking about the language, the pronunciation, although I studied in an English medium school right from the
yeah, exactly.
beginning,
Nobody
but
speaks English in
but still English in India is so different than English that you speak over here.
yeah.
So I still remember this was when I was new in Kent. I went through a McDonald's drive through,
Mhm.
and I ordered something on their list, and she couldn't understand what I was asking for. And then finally I had to tell her the order at number 3, and then she understood, oh, he's asking for this. But
Yeah,
after that, I was so embarrassed going into the drive-throughs that I used to park my car, go in, and then slowly order my stuff. But
exactly.
later I realized that. So sometimes people say that, you are faking your accent, but sometimes you have to do it, because otherwise it's difficult for you to communicate over here.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't kind of put that accent out,
Right.
it's difficult to do. So that's what I like, and now I've gotten used to, like, if I'm speaking to somebody who's Indian, obviously my Indian accent comes out. But
Right.
if I'm speaking to some American, I try to get that accent,
Yeah.
so that it's easier for us to communicate, and they don't have to keep you asking, no, what did you say, no,
Yeah.
what was
Exactly.
it, then
Yeah.
it kills the whole conversation.
Right. And Shajid, at the same time, right, when you turn your tongue and all while you speak and trying to talk to them. Earlier, what I felt, right, when I came to US, we tried so much hard to try to get their accent that I started feeling that there's nothing wrong in our accent too. If you talk proper English and with the correct pronunciations, they will understand it. But earlier when we came, we were trying so hard to get exactly that kind of accent. We try to imitate all these people, right? But now, like working global supply chain, right, I talk to people from different parts of the world. They are in way better career and good positions and all. And one thing I learned, like everybody has their own accent, and nobody is you shouldn't feel bad about your accent. This is how you are, and that makes you strong, right? That's the reason you're here, you are having a good job and all. uh, it's good to talk in a different accent, or maybe good accent, and so that they can understand. But at the very same time, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable about your accent, because I feel like some people try get demotivated that they are not able to speak proper English or something like that. But I feel like you should just talk, take your time, talk. People will understand, right? You should just be confident about what you are saying.
Yeah,
And
you should be confident and clear. All the words that
exactly.
you're speaking is clear. And at the end of the day, your work is what speaks for you. So
Exactly.
even if you are not very confident with the language, if you are acing at your work,
Right.
then that is all everybody around you needs.
Right.
And if you ace your work, I think you are good.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's what I feel like. Nobody should feel any like people coming now as well, right? People move all the time, and if nobody should feel nervous about it. Like, and I keep telling my parents as well. So of course, mom, dad doesn't know that good of English, right? Dad doesn't know even speak English, but mom does. So, but she's scared whenever she talks to anybody like from America or somebody. So I'm like, why you are scared? He's also doing their job, you're also doing your job, just talk openly. If he's not able to understand, it's his problem, you at least said, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so never be scared about anything, just go. I mean, you have to ask, right? You cannot just be sitting at one place and be like uncomfortable. You need to ask, like, well, howsoever you want to talk, you talk. Nobody's going to judge you here, and nobody's going to make you feel bad here. I mean, in back in India, of course, the 10 people will be like, oh, how you're talking, like, oh, you are, how's your pronunciation, like that. Over here, nobody will judge you. So you just, it's better, you should just talk whatever you feel like talking.
The best comeback what I do is when people say that I don't understand your accent, I just say I'm multilingual and English is
Yeah,
not my
exactly.
first language. And
Exactly.
obviously English is not my first language. My first
Yeah,
language Marathi. I speak Hindi, and my third probably language is English. So
yeah,
English not being my primary language, I can still speak it. I can still write in it,
right.
and I can do my day-to-day activities. But most of the people here know only one language. So
Oh
I
yeah,
think even
exactly.
if you speak English, not very fluent but easy enough to communicate, you should be able to do it.
Right. You should be proud of it, right? Like, all these languages. I mean, people from different countries, they just know one language. Nobody knows a second language. In fact, like, dialects are also not that different than how we have in India, right? Everybody coming from a different city also will have a different dialect in India. So you should just be confident and be like, dude, I know three languages. Why am I scared about anything? Just go for it, right? I mean, whatever you can speak, just speak it, speak it out. So that you can enjoy the country rather than getting into this mindset that, oh, how will I communicate and all. Just enjoy the country, enjoy your experience, and do not think much about how you speak.
How was your experience driving the car for the first time in the US?
Oh, ask me. I was I still remember. I still remember. I got a pulled over for not stopping. So, dude, this stop signal pisses me off till date. Like, I'm like, what? And it's amazing for me. Like, wherever there's a stop signal, cars stop. In India, if a stop signal, that is just like advisory. Nobody wants to stop there. Speeding, oh, that's just advisory in India. Yeah, speed at 50 kilometers per hour. Over here, if you're not following the rules and regulations, you will get fined for that. And I still remember, like, when first time I was driving with Ashwin, and I the cop gave me a pullover, and as soon as he came, I was so scared. I was, yes uncle, what happened? Yes uncle, what happened? I'm like, dude, at that point I was so scared because firstly, no money. Secondly, you're learning how to drive over here, and third, like, you're a student. You are like very new to the country and all. So all these experiences made you so nervous in the beginning that I'm like, yes, uncle, sorry. Luckily, I
Yeah,
did
and
not get a ticket at
these
that
cops
point.
have personalities over here. Like they, whenever they pull you over, they keep one hand on the gun,
Yeah.
and that is so scary, dude. When they come
Yeah,
and talk to you,
I
they
know.
have their hat, or maybe they have a life jacket. They have
Yeah,
all sorts of handcuffs and
I know.
guns and everything, and the walkie-talkie and camera on their chest. And when they come talk to you, ask you for something, it's scary. I've been in those situations few times.
Oh, till now, dude, like whenever I see a cop car, even though I'm driving at the perfect speed limit, I'll still reduce the speed of my car. I don't know
Yeah.
why. That's the general mindset, and not only me. Like, I see other people also doing the same, because if you're on the highway, right, and long, you will see a cop car standing, everybody will slow down from like 70s or maybe 60s and 50s, so that they don't get a pullover. And yeah,
That's what happens when you get ticket, and you're careful from the next time that you don't want any more ticket.
yeah, dude. It's easy to survive here, but and at the very same time, it is easy to get you into
In a
trouble,
big trouble.
in a big trouble, because I still remember I got a ticket, and the person was like, come to court and all, because I was driving 20 over the speed limit. So, and I still remember, dude, I used to get like 50 of the mails every day in my mailbox that, oh, your name is in the public records, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just speeding.
Yeah, speeding is considered as a minor misdemeanor,
Yeah,
unless you fuck it up big, like going
yeah,
20 over the limit. If you're going like 5, 10 above the limit, they just give you a
yeah,
ticket and you pay it online and you're good.
yeah.
So, how was your experience going to the court?
Oh, I didn't go to the court. I hired, so working with supply chain. I have a legal insurance, because we do a lot in business, right? Like we talk directly to suppliers, we threaten them. So I had this legal insurance from my company. So I used one of their
Attorneys.
attorney, and they took care of the ticket. And the good thing was I did not pay anything, even a single dollar for that.
That's
Though
nice.
I paid something for the attorneys. I still remember. But
Where's
yeah.
your next trip?
My next trip, yeah, Havasupai Falls. I want to go to Mexico, Cancun, and Alaska. I want to try. Uh, I even want to go one of the places in Europe this year. So all these are my bucket list, Srijit. I do not plan anything in advance. It's just like if I get a time, maybe 10 days before. Also, sometimes I just feel like, dude, the long weekend is coming. Maybe I'll just plan something. Or if I'm not feeling well, if I'm not feeling good on Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm having a busy week, or I'm not enjoying my work, I'll just probably just take Thursday, Friday work from home and travel somewhere in the West and come back, so that it can push me, it can bring me to a better mindset. Because if I'm not in a good mindset, right, I cannot add value to my job. So I always feel like if I am unplanned trips are way better than planned ones. So I always go with that, and do not plan anything like that. I have a long bucket list though. I want to do tons of stuff, go underwater diving and everything I want to do, but I don't know when I'll be able to do it, and I do not like to plan for it.
So if anybody wants to see your Instagram post, how can they find you?
Oh, they can find me on Manu Juneja. It's my Instagram handle. I usually do not add people who I don't know, but if I feel like, okay, the person is, I'm thinking of making it public. People have been telling me to go do blogging and all. So we'll see if that works out or not. But I can do blogging, but I cannot do editing and all. So that's not, I don't have that kind of motivation to do that. But yeah, they can always reach out to me on Manu Juneja. They can even write me in my email. I respond if they want any kind of travel uh, itinerary or suggestions or anything. I'm more than happy to provide that. And they can email me on mjuneja@ken.edu. I'm still using my Kent email address. So it
I
is
mean,
always,
that works lifetime, so why not?
yeah, exactly. And plus, like, most of the things when I moved here, right, I signed up in that email, so I have to keep a track of what's happening in that email account. So yeah, they can always reach out to me on that. And then my Facebook is Manu Juneja. So I started a long time back. I started this hashtag MJ Travels. So in all my pictures, I post that MJ Travels. So even if you search MJ Travels India, put a flag of India after MJ Travels, you will be able to see a lot of my pictures over there as well.
All right, man. Thank you so much for doing this. It was fun talking to you.
Same here, buddy. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.